All right, guys, happy Friday here. Got some breaking news. This is the second time I'm recording this. The first time I was recording it, the actual video, but nothing happened. But we're doing this again, and now it's working now. So the camera's working, everything's good. So we're all good. But yeah, I got some stuff to talk about. Of course, we have we had the show yesterday, but there's a couple of things I wanted to fit in that I wasn't able to, or I kind of forgot. But yeah, so we're going to cover a couple of breaking news things. Again, some stuff that didn't make the show yesterday and some stuff that kind of happened after the show. But again, yeah, if you haven't seen the show yesterday, go ahead and do that. Make sure, again, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, like the streams, videos, and be sure to also follow on X, Instagram, follow us on Spotify as well. Again, I'll try to get the episode from yesterday on Spotify at some point tonight. Upload it on there at some point tonight, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. Okay, we'll do this again. So, YouTube TV, ESPN dispute, still going on. This, of course, has started back last week and impacted everyone for college football last week. You can watch the games, at least ESPN-related games, or games on ESPN Disney-related networks. So that sucked. I think what we ended up doing, at least for me, we ended up doing the Sling one-day pass, and looks like we're going to do it again this coming up Saturday, because once again, YouTube and Disney have no deals in place, and it doesn't look like there's going to be one. I'll be a little bit stunned if there is one after or later tonight. Not later tonight, but before the day's over, that there's one in place. I'll be a little bit shocked by that. So pretty unlikely there will be one. But yeah. So yeah, once again, another weekend of college football where you can't watch the games on YouTube TV. At least the ESPN games, you can still watch the CBS and Fox stuff, but no ESPN. So again, there's other ways you guys can do that, other methods out there. And no, that does not include watching the games on normal YouTube. YouTube has been very much so policing that. Not to mention, a lot of those streams are relying on YouTube TV to get access to those streams. So obviously, if no YouTube TV, some of those streams on YouTube aren't going to work. So don't even try that. So again, think of other options for that. But it's still going on. It's also, apparently, this whole dispute's also impacted or at least it's starting to impact other aspects of this whole, or other aspects of media. Apparently, like on the Google Play Store, like some of the, or all of the Disney films are off of there. So this has gone from a dispute now to a full-on war, essentially. So hopefully this gets figured out soon, because this is getting pretty annoying. So again, however you're going to do it tomorrow, watching the games over, it's going to another network provider, or I don't know, going to a bar or something. But yeah, so that's still going on. No real end in sight. So we'll see if there's any resolution to it. But of course, that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing we're talking about today. We have other stuff to get to, so let's go ahead and get to it. Next up here, Luke Fickell. News on that. Of course, he's the embattled head coach at Wisconsin. They are staring down the barrel of a probably 2-10, 3-9 type season. It's really, really bad. Now, the initial thinking with Fickell was, at least for a while, it's been he'll be out. There'll be total regime change. They'll bring in someone else. Whether it's the guy from either New Mexico State or New Mexico. I think it's New Mexico, with Jason Eck, who played there. He's an alumni. But it turns out, according to the AD, at least at the moment, Luke Fickell's coming back next year. Okay, this sounds like the whole stuff about, they were going to try to attempt to get more investment going into the program and doing this and that, and maybe going into the portal more. And look, that's understandable, right? I mean, Wisconsin, talent-wise, is way far behind even the average teams in the Big Ten. Now, again, if we look at it from the perspective, okay, look, the schedule was hard this year. It's going to be a tough year regardless. Hopefully next year is a little bit better. But unfortunately, or at least what I'm thinking, Wisconsin's still going to have to play with, 5 out of the big schools in the Big Ten, so like Wisconsin, or not, so yeah, Wisconsin's probably going to have to play a lot of those, the Big Five, right? USC, Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan. At least 2 out of those 5, right? Or 3 of them, 2 or 3 of those teams, more likely. They also play, I believe, Notre Dame, neutral site, and Lambeau Field, and Green Bay. And they also play Pitt at home. So the non-con doesn't get that much easier, to be honest with you. And look, if they want to keep him, if they want to go in the transfer portal and get better talent, they want to save some money and go that route, sure, fine. But in that case, if you really think about it, you're still delaying the what's eventually going to happen. So, I posed this back in my original recording before I had to start over. There's definitely an outside chance, or not outside chance, but non-zero chance that they could actually still fire him, right? And there's nothing. I mean, unless there's no proper alignment there, I don't even know if they even have the actual president. I think they do, but either way, there is no guarantee he is going to be back next year. There could be a scenario where the president or someone else who's very powerful says, you know what, screw Fickell, screw the AD, total regime change, we're moving on, and we're going to hop into this coaching carousel. That's possible too. So it's not like he's necessarily safe this year, like guaranteed, but it sounds like he is coming back, and they're going to run it back again next year and do like transfer portal stuff and go more into that. Maybe do a total changeover with the coaching staff roster, bring in some better coaches. Who knows? But look, this year kind of is what it is, and next year probably won't be much easier. So now I will say this, and I said this in the original recording, that it is possible that Wisconsin doing this and being the first team of a coach on the hot seat, saying, "Hey, our guy's coming back, and we're not making a change." I don't think it's a non-zero chance that Mike Norvell at Florida State's coming back next year. I know a lot of Florida State fans want to hear it. I know it sounds kind of like I'm being a troll here, but I don't think it's that insane to think about it. Again, because Wisconsin, with them saying this and them being the first one to kind of make that announcement, I don't think it's crazy to think that Mike Norvell and Michael Alford agreed to saying, hey, look, this year is kind of is what it is. Next year, we'll reevaluate again, and he's back next year. And much like Wisconsin, they go heavy in the portal. Maybe they try to get some better talent somehow, some way. I don't know how. Look, their high school recruiting's crap anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah, it definitely looks like, again, Luke Fickell's coming back, barring some sort of weird change of events there. And it seems like Mark Norvell is probably back too. So, heck, they just opened up the new football-only facility, and he was there for that. So it sounds like he's going to be back next year, it looks like. Or at least he'll be finishing out this year and probably back. So, Luke Fickell is staying at Wisconsin. Again, definitely sounds like there's going to be a lot of staff changes. Probably again, they have Jim Tressell's nephew and Jeff Grimes as the OC and DC. Excuse me. Tressell's the DC and Grimes is the OC. Probably a good chance that they're going to be let go, and they'll bring in some other better coaches probably. So we'll see about that. But they're definitely staring down the barrel of a 2-10 season, man. It's going to get. Look, their schedule is what it is, and they have Washington, who's a ranked team, Indiana, who's a ranked team. Obviously, they're the second or third best team in the country. Illinois, and then Minnesota. You're definitely staring down the barrel of a 2-10 season. You've only scored in your last 3 games combined 7 points. You've been blown out by 100 plus. So, look, if the folks there in Madison, they really don't care about this program, they're not really serious about it, which it doesn't sound like they really are, based on this decision. Then continue to do that. Don't change anything. So just continue doing what you're going to do, I guess. Now the sun's glaring. Let me move the camera over. I guess a little bit better. I guess we'll end with this. It's kind of strange. I already recorded this, and I'm recording it again, but whatever. But in terms of the Marvel news, and I hinted at this yesterday, that actually, let me go close that blind real quick, guys. Okay, I might be a little bit better, I think. Hopefully, that should be a lot better now. But anyway, so, look, you can definitely tell this afternoon the sun's going down. That's why it's like that. But anyway, I guess I'll wrap up this. So I mentioned this on Twitter yesterday about this X-Men concept art that was leaking or making its rounds on the internet yesterday. Josh over at Den of Nerds, he mentioned it on Discord. I'm in his Discord, by the way, if you didn't know that. I'm actually in there. So I was, did see what he was talking about it. So he mentioned it. Now the thing is, though, is that at first I wasn't sure if it was real or not, but it turns out it kind of is real, or it might be real. Again, look, if he's talking about it, and he brought it up on stream earlier too, by the way. So if he's doing that, I think it's probably real. Now, in terms of what it is, there's a couple of things. I mentioned this on Twitter last night. There's definitely 2 options at what this could be. Number one, it very much so could be related to the X-Men reboot that's coming after Secret Wars. That's definitely on the table. Number 2 is it could be related to Doomsday. And this is the actual Doomsday roster. Now, if you're wondering what the image is, I'm not going to show it on here because I don't want to get copyright or whatnot if it is actually real. But I'm looking at it right here on my screen. But in the image, you have from right to left, it's Storm, Jean Grey, Colossus, Cyclops, I think Angel, I believe that who it is, the guy with the wings, Nightcrawler, and Rogue. Now, again, like I said, this is for Doomsday. This is kind of a big deal. This is a huge leap because, again, the only ones we've known will be in the movie is Charles Xavier, Magneto, at least X-Men, the Fox X-Men related characters. Those two, Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Beast, Mystique, I believe, and I think Gambit. So those characters, right? So in this image here, there's way more other characters in here. I think there's like 4 additionals that were not in that Chairs announcement back in March. So again, if this is related to Doomsday, and I sent this on Twitter too, this is indeed really related to Doomsday, this concept art, then I got a lot of stuff wrong. I did not think that they were going to have, I didn't believe they were going to include a lot more characters. Again, if this is for Doomsday, I was wrong on that. I mean, another thing too, I mentioned this in the original recording, that if you look closely at like Storm and even Rogue, they kind of do resemble the actors from the Fox X-Men movies. Like, for example, like Rogue, definitely, it kind of looks like it's Anna Paquin's likeness. Same with Storm, with Halle Berry's likeness a little bit. So, again, I might be reaching here, but it definitely looks like, to me, if I had to choose between the two, I think it's probably tied to Doomsday. I would probably say it probably is. Now, it is interesting, too, on Discord, Josh Overrive, Den of Nerds brought this up when he brought up the image. I think he mentioned this. I mean, it's been 24 hours ago, but I think when he brought this image, he said something to the lines of, I think this is the lineup in Doomsday. But on the stream today, he mentioned that he believes this is for the X-Men reboot, which, look, it could be the case for that, but my sort of questions about that is, look, it is kind of early. It seems hard for me to believe this would leak so early, but it's possible. But I don't know. I mean, based on what I've seen from this image here, I mean, it definitely looks like, to me, it's probably related to Doomsday. Now, from what Josh said on Discord, that he thinks that the team you see in this, the actual photo, the concept art, he mentioned that the characters you see are actually going to be the team you see in Doomsday. So that is interesting that while the art could be for the new X-Men film after the reboot, and it includes these characters, that this is probably going to be the same lineup you see in the actual Doomsday movie with the Fox X-Men. So it is interesting that could be the case there, which kind of makes sense, but, you know, because it's not much, there's really not much you can do in terms of changing out the characters, right? But another thing that was also noticed too is that if this is for Doomsday, this is all mainly characters that we have not seen yet, or at least to the X-Men, the Fox X-Men characters that we haven't seen yet in the actual MCU, right? Because we've already seen like what Gambit looks like and Beast and Charles Xavier. So we know what they look like, but these are all characters, if this is for Doomsday, that we don't know what they look like. And I would just say that based on the art, kind of looks like how the traditional costumes would look like if they were in they're actually done on screen. So I'll just say that it definitely looks like that. It kind of has that look to it, right? So again, I think this is for Doomsday, and if it is the case, and I got a lot of stuff wrong about certain characters not appearing. So how about that? But yeah, we don't know for sure. Again, could be for the reboot film, but forgot to silence my computer here. But definitely could also be for Doomsday, and I think it could be. And then look, we have that trailer that's coming out in about less than a month or so. So it wouldn't surprise me that this would leak out before. And if someone from Marvel or one of these companies who are outsourced to do concept art would leak this out to get folks excited about the trailer, because I do believe that in the trailer you will probably see the full entire team of the X-Men, probably to some extent. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone who Marvel outsourced leaked this out on purpose. But I don't know. I mean, I guess the fact it hasn't been taken down yet on Twitter and other places kind of leads you to believe it may not be real. But if it is real, and if it is tied to Doomsday, or at least this is the lineup you'll see in Doomsday, I got some stuff wrong. So again, we don't know for sure, but figured I'd bring it up here. I think me and maybe Josh over at Den of Nerds are the only folks that have really brought this up at nauseum, or at least to this extent. So that is interesting. So I think that's pretty much it I want to talk about. I mean, I know I brought up yesterday Josh Pate's stuff about Lincoln Riley and USC. We'll see what happens with that, but he didn't talk about it in the show last night. Maybe he'll bring it up on Friday Night Lines. Maybe someone will mention to it in the chat. But we'll see with that. But we'll keep an eye on things. But Yeah, so in terms of the show next week on Tuesday, again, no regular Tuesday show. We may do a show on Sunday, potentially, Sunday night. If not that, we'll do one Tuesday night, but unfortunately, because of the schedule, we can't do one traditionally like we usually do. We'll definitely do our reaction or recap on Saturday night or Sunday night. Just depends on what we do with the actual show. But yeah, I guess enjoy the rest of your Friday, enjoy the games, and we'll see you guys for the show on Tuesday or Sunday night. I guess I'll let you guys know in advance. But yeah, enjoy your Sunday, and we'll see you guys. I guess see you next time, guys.